to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you here with me on tonight's show, especially as we have had a bit of a makeover and a new name for the show, and we will be making improvements so that you have the best entertainment. Now, speaking of the best entertainment, we have got a great guest for you, Dr. Robert from the Blow Monkeys, and here is what happened when I caught up with him. Dr. Robert, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's an honour to be here.
Oh, no, it's really lovely to have you here on the show. And where are you at the moment?
I'm in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada in Andalusia in southern Spain.
Oh, wow.
Where,
how lovely.
Yeah, I've been here about 20 years now. We moved over as a family.
Oh, really nice. Well, it's miserable here in England, so you're definitely in the right place. And obviously, we're just sort of coming out of lockdown. What have you been up to?
Well, the first 3 months, I sort of went into a kind of frenzy of songwriting and recording because it was such a unique kind of thing to happen. You know, suddenly everything stopped, and then it became a bit tedious. But I think at first it was really good, I've been working on a new album, new Blow Monkeys album, because we've been together like 40 years. And producing other people and writing, just doing what I always do, really. I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a hermit anyway, so it wasn't such a great change for me.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. Well, we look forward to hearing that new album for sure. Now we're going to go into the first song, It Doesn't Have to Be This Way, which hit number 5 in the UK singles charts. Now this song was featured in Police Academy 4 Citizens on Patrol. Am I right in saying that?
You probably are, but I mean, I haven't got a clue. It's not a film that I've ever seen, Police Academy. So, I mean, I ran out of the will to see it after all the numbers. But I mean, I do believe it is on there, yes. Yes,
well, it's a little fun fact there for you. And we're going to play out the song. It's a great tune, and we'll see you after this. Now, I just want to rewind right back, Dr. Robert. How did it all start off? Because am I right in saying that you were busking in Sydney?
I started off doing that. I went to live in Australia when I was about 14, and I started learning guitar. And that was just the first thing I did. I used to go and busk at Circular Quay and outside the Sydney Opera House and places like that, you know. And I could never remember people, you know, the words to other people's songs, so I started just making them up. Really, that's how kind of it started. And you know, yeah, exactly. You know, and because you just say it goes that way because no one can counter you because that's. So I just made it up, and it was just something about. I guess the first time somebody stops and drops a penny in the hat, you know, that's it. You're addicted. I was off after that, so I thought it was that, you know, that started me off, and fear of. What the hell else am I going to do with my life?
Yeah, exactly. A normal job. I just can't do it. But am I right in saying that the Blow Monkeys sort of came together and you answered an ad in Melody Maker?
Well, that's what you did back in those days. Melody Maker is where it was all advertised. So I came back in 81 and I saw an ad. It said "Angular Guitarist Wanted." I wasn't quite sure what that meant. Whether that meant you had to be into fishing, or I wasn't really sure what it meant. But I met Neville there at Jackson's Lane Community Centre up in Highgate, and we kind of went from there. We decided that we would form a new band. And so that's what we did.
I mean, you had great success in the 80s, 4 albums, 11 singles in the UK charts between 1986 and 1990. Did you ever envisage that would happen?
Not really, but I mean, it wasn't overnight. We played around a lot before we got a deal, and then we put a lot of records out before we had a sniff at radio or anything like that. So it was all kind of gradual. But obviously, after Digging Your Scene, everything changed for us, really, because that was like a worldwide hit. So, no, but when you're caught in the middle of it all, you're too busy to kind of reflect on it. It's only years later, really.
Now, talking of Digging Your Scene, this really gave you the hit. And I guess my question is, were you prepared to be catapulted into the limelight?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was up for it, you know. I mean, like a lot of kids, I dreamt of getting on top of the pops, and I dreamt of doing this and that. And like, we were very lucky we got there. And then, like everyone else, it kind of falls away and things change. And so you find out whether what it is that really attracted you in the first place, and that was music. You know, making music, singing, just expression, and all the rest of it kind of falls away.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to check out the video. Here it is from 1986. Enjoy. Now, I've got to say, I'm loving your duet with the lovely Kim Mazel. Had her on the show before. Absolutely great fun. And I guess my question is, how did that collab come about?
I was, at this time, 89, I was living in Brixton. I was sharing a flat, well, actually a bit earlier than that, with a DJ who turned me on to house music. So when we toured the States, I went to kind of Chicago to a record shop that he told me about, bought all these records, and got really into it, and initially thought I'll do something as a solo record, you know, like a house thing.
Yeah.
But and then a friend of mine told me that Kim Mazel was in town, and I knew about Kim through the kind of early Marshall Jefferson records. So it was pure luck that she happened to be around, and I thought, oh, you got to sing with me on this, you know. Didn't think she would, but she did. She came in, and then the band heard it, and so it ended up on a Blow Monkeys record. But it was just that I was listening to a lot of house music. I really liked that early house music, Chicago. It was like it kind of like homemade Philly records, you know. They had a real attitude to them and a real soul. So that was what I was kind of tapping into.
Yeah, well, it's an absolute tune. I was listening to this earlier, having a little boogie to it. We want everyone up on your feet. And big shout out to Kim Mazel as well. We love her here on the show, so enjoy this. Great, we've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers. Dean would like to know, which one of your albums really sums up the Blow Monkeys?
Well, I guess Animal Magic was the first one that really kind of encapsulated all of our influences, but I don't know if there really is one that sums it up. I'm going to cheat and say our new one, because
yes, that's a good answer.
The new one is called Journey to You, and it kind of, I really wanted just to find the essence of what it is that we're about, really. You know, we've been quite experimental down the line, and sometimes that's maybe lost us some of the hardcore fans who didn't go with us. So I wanted to distill what it is that we're about, because every band has a sound and a kind of core thing about them, you know. So I would say the new one, Journey to You, is the closest we've come to that.
Like that. Well, make sure you check out that new album. And Leah would like to know, Time Storm is epic, which we're going to be playing out later. Would you like to write a movie theme song, maybe the next post-Daniel Craig James Bond? Good question.
Well, look, yeah, I would. I'm here. I'm available. I mean, you know, a lot of people thought that Time Storm had that kind of Bondish thing, and it does, I guess. You know, for me, it's like I'm a massive fan of kind of Bacharach and David and 60s pop and stuff like that. So those influences have always been in kind of my writing. Although I wasn't good enough to do it earlier. I know how they do it now a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe, I've never specifically written for a film. We've had songs in film, like Police Academy 4, whatever it was. And I think we had something in Dirty Dancing as well. We had something in.
Oh, wow.
That was a cover version, yeah. So, and again, you know, I didn't even think twice. We did that in a day and had no idea it was going to turn into what it turned into, you know.
Yeah, love that.
So I'd love to specifically write for film, yeah.
Yeah, love that. And Mary says that she's saw the Blow Monkeys 5 times in the 80s, including at the Hammersmith Odeon with Curtis Mayfield. What do you remember specifically about those gigs?
I think the Hammersmith Odeon was the height of it for us. We did 2 nights there, sold out, and we had Curtis with us. And we were on the cover of the NME that week. We'd been banned by the BBC because they didn't like the record, or they couldn't play the record because they said it was too political. So we, because they called an election the week of release. You know, I mean, I don't know what they were scared of. We weren't exactly revolutionary. We weren't going to bring down the government. We were just going to have a party when Thatcher had gone, but that didn't happen either. So, yeah, but they were great gigs. There was another friend of mine, a guy called Ed Cooper, was supporting us, who was from a punk band called The Saints and a band called The Laughing Clowns. So big influence on me. So I was like, you know, the perennial pig, you know, in whatever, because it was just, I had these great musicians with me, and there we were headlining at this iconic venue. So yeah, it was a high.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to play out the next song, Out With Her. Janine says, was this written with anyone in mind?
Janine, yes, it was.
There we go.
That's it.
Any more info?
Not really. No, I mean, it was my kind of, it was about as George Michael as we ever got. You know, I found it quite difficult to live with it for a while, but funnily enough, we started putting it in the set again, and I realised it's not a bad song.
Yeah, it's a great song, and we're going to check it out right now. Enjoy, and we'll see you after. Now, I want to talk about your 40th anniversary tour coming up. Really exciting, which will be in October 2021. What can we expect at this, Robert?
I haven't got a clue. I mean, you know, we've recorded a new album. We've never played it together. We kind of did it all remotely and stuff. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have to break the habit of a lifetime and have a rehearsal before we play the next time. But you know, we've done a lot of live gigs since we got back together, kind of 10 years ago. Because that's the thing I love most about it, really. The whole process is playing. So I can't wait, because you know we'll be able. We want to dip into the back catalogue and pull out some kind of unusual choices, and obviously we'll do things that everybody knows, and a few things that we don't know. So yeah, it should be interesting. And I mean, like everyone, we're gagging to get out and sort of communicate again.
Yeah, I think we're all dying to get out there, aren't we? For you guys as performers and for us as the viewers, we're just really ready for that excitement. So we're going to put details on the screen below of how you can check out that tour. But the next song we're going to play is Time Storm. Now, this is kind of your old sound, but it's kind of brought up to the 21st century, isn't it?
I guess so, if you say so.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's got a kind of Baccarat and David thing, a little bit of Bondish theme, but it is recognisably us. It's also got sort of 60s soul elements. Yeah. It was one of the first songs, probably the first song I wrote in lockdown, because Time Storm was kind of what it felt like. We seemed to lose all sense of time. We seemed to lose sense of, you know, it was kind of, you know, to not get too highfalutin about it, a slight kind of existential crisis going on. We didn't know who we were, where we were going anymore, and all that. So, and I kind of enjoyed that disorientation. So that was what kind of inspired the song.
Well, we love it here on the show. I'm a big fan of this one. We're going to play this out. Great video, great tune. Enjoy. Time Storm. You've got. Now, Dr. Robert, before you go, give us the goss. What else have you been up to?
Well, I've been writing. Obviously, and recording with the Blow Monkeys. I've been doing the Monks Road Social album, which is a kind of collective, and I've been producing an album for a friend of mine, Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who.
Oh, yes.
Or Malcolm Tucker, some people might want to say. But yeah, so and hopefully that'll come out later in the year or early next year. So that's been real fun. So I've been very busy.
Yes, love that. Oh, we'll be looking out for that.
Yeah.
And we're going to go into your last song today, which is This Is Your Life. Now, there were two releases with the 1989 version charting at number 32. Which is your favourite version?
I think I prefer the first version. It was a weird, but it didn't do as well. But I actually think that was more the essence of the song.
You prefer that one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
that's
did
interesting.
Prefer it. Yeah. But I mean, I can't remember why we recorded two versions of it or whatever happened. It was a bit of a blur at that time. But yeah. I mean, it's another one. We might pull that out and do that live. I don't think we've done that live for 40 years, so we'll have a go.
Well, we'll definitely be checking out the tour. Again, we will be putting details on the screen below and your album. Do keep us posted here on the show with everything. It sounds really exciting and a real pleasure to take a trip down memory lane. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I've enjoyed it.
Absolute honour. It's Dr. Robert from the Blow Monkeys, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh, we've now come to the end of the show, but a huge thank you, Dr. Robert from the Blow Monkeys. Just fantastic and a real honour to have him as tonight's special guest. Now, I will see you same time, same place next week. Now, details are on the screen below if you'd like to get in contact. I love hearing from you. Stay safe and I'll see you then.